Alright, so I decided to make this video about sheet to tiller steering. I don't know how many times I've been to a blue water cruising meeting or read on cruising forums about people whose fancy little Aries or Nordic or other type of wind vane that they've relied on for thousands and thousands of miles to cruise across the ocean ends up failing. What do you do if that fails? You're stuck in the middle of the ocean. You don't want to steer, you know, especially if you're single-handed or short-handed. You don't want to steer for, God, 500, 600 miles. Or worse, what if you're 1,000 miles offshore and your fancy wind vane that you spent $4,000 or $5,000 to purchase fails? You could find yourself in a bit of a predicament. Well, it's really easy. Sheet to tiller steering, it's really easy. I do this all the time. This is a Albin Vega, 27 foot. Very, very easy to balance. That's the key. Balance your boat. Get your boat so it's basically, you know, steering straight ahead, and then you can do it. It's easy. All you do, and actually it looks like our wind has died. We will continue this lesson when I can find more wind. Because I am becalmed right now, which is the beauty of sailing. Because when you're becalmed, that means go fix yourself something to eat. 1 minute you're becalmed, next minute you're sailing again. I was watching this little wind ripple come across the water, coming towards me, and there we hit it. And being an autumn day in Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, God's country, it's a little chilly. Anyways, okay, so back to where we were. So my sails aren't completely balanced right now, but you know what, that's good enough. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the equipment. All you need, real simple, is I made this thing up. Just some bungees on a ring, rope, put a couple of bites onto the rudder, offset them just a little bit because the rope will pass each other. Snap that on, that becomes a very adjustable setup right there. Right there. And coming off the boom, right here, I've just got a rope. I keep it permanently affixed. Just a light rope, good quality rope. Go get a good braid, yacht braid. I just put a carabiner on there, just a simple knot, halyard knot, and I keep it snapped on permanently, just like that. Anyways, the other thing that you're going to need is right here, is on both sides. I have one like this, just have a block attach my stanchion. Of course, if you're going to be offshore, you got to fix it to something a little more solid than your stanchion. Got one on both sides, just so it clears the coaming on your cockpit. Okay, so here we go. I'm almost a broad reach. I'm going to pull it up a little bit tighter. And it's a nice light breeze right now. We're doing 3 knots. It's not bad for a day like this. There's been very little wind. It's been pretty spotty. So what I do, I've got everything set up the way I want it. I'll just run it through this block over here. Straight through that block. up and over and bite it. Take this other one, bite it, and I just loop it over this right here. Now I've got a bunch of bungees, so that the more power that you need, you just snap another bungee on. Easy. Right? Pretty simple stuff. So now I've got some power to the boom here. The boom is now going to take up any force that I need through that block. It's going to pull through the block, and it's going to act to pull my rudder this way. So then all I do is I start finding the point of sail that I want to go to. Which is pretty close right here. It's acting off the boom right here. Straight down. Through the block. Back along through to the bite. Real easy. It actually is self-steering now. See how it's as easy as that. So if you start coming up into the wind, well, then you've got to pull too tight. If you're pulling too tight into the wind, you got to adjust it. If you need to pull, if you're coming up into the wind, basically what it means is you've got too much bungee tension, right? So if you got too much, I put another one on just then, it's going to start rounding up. And I am starting to round up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little more tension to the boom. I'm going to release the boom. The trick is only release it until it's just loose. That's it. Bite it again, because if this fails, it's not, your boom isn't going to go flying over. It's just going to go over a little bit and you'll still be sailing. So if you're down in the cockpit making yourself a drink, or you're making yourself something to eat, you're not going to do a jibe or you know, something accidental. So here we are, we're sailing. We've got the self-steering mechanism on, and we're rounding up because I put this extra bungee on. I'm going to take that bungee off. And everything that you do is very, very, very subtle. So let her sit. Make sure your blocks are nice and. Alright. Just going to release a little bit of my bungee tension. Pull up a little bit on my boom. And that's going to make me come away from the wind a little bit, which it's doing. And here's Duke, Mr. Sure-footed. Come on, down here, boy. Over there. Over there. Up. Good. Nope, stay there. It's always good to have a first mate that listens to what you're saying. Anyway, so here we go. We're rounding out of the wind. The sail dynamics are starting to power up. It's as easy as that. Wait for it to take over, and if it doesn't, give it a little more. And when you adjust these things, only adjust it maybe half an inch to an inch. Once you get this thing balanced, it'll steer for hours. Nothing. Didn't cost me anything. You've probably got some spare rope in your boat. You've got a couple of spare blocks. Everybody's got bungees. Even one, just the cheap ones they use for bunching up your sail on your boom. Any of those. For coastal cruising, this is what you do. It's as easy as that. Very simple. Make sure all your ropes are nice and tidy, out of the way. Smack your head on the boom every once in a while, just reminds you that it's there. And there you have it. That was easier than I thought. Why steer for hours and hours on end? Life's easy.